Today we got Johnny from Man with a Mission joining us on this podcast. He's going to be talking about a lot of different things today with us. He talks about when he first met Babymetal and how he saw a bright future ahead of them, about his time working with Yoyoka. We're going to talk about the tour, about some of the gear he likes using, and much, much more on today's podcast. Welcome, though, to the South Sound Podcast, where we talk about our favorite musicians from all over the world. And if that's something you're interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel. We talk about everything music here. Johnny, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
No, it's my pleasure to be on this one. Thank you very much for having us.
Now, you guys have a very interesting backstory. Well, according to Wikipedia, it says on here the band invented a backstory for why they wear wolf masks, which involves them being created as the ultimate life form by Jimi Hendrix, who is described by the band as being the doctor of the guitar and master wolf biologist. They were all frozen in Antarctica for years. While they were frozen, they had been listening to all kinds of music from all over around the world before later escaping and emerging onto the Japanese music scene. Who came up with this?
Okay, you got it all right, man. Yeah, it's all on the Wikipedia, and it's all came up with this. That's how we were born. So nobody came up with this, you know. But yeah. Sorry, that's already true. A lot of people enjoy it, so we really appreciate it. Yeah.
Who's a Jimi Hendrix fan in the band? Are you guys all Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of all the guitar. It's pretty dangerous to say that he's the same person, the same Jimi Hendrix that you guys know. So I'm not really sure if he's the guy who was on Woodstock, but things like that. But I'm definitely sure that he was really great in shredding his guitar.
All right. All right. So you mentioned in an interview with Front Row Live that your band tries to ensure that anime songs that you write for aligns with the common message of the band. And something I was wondering when I was listening to that interview, what is the common message of your band that you try to strive for in you guys' music?
Yeah, most of our songs, it's probably about like confronting all the hardships throughout your life and like how to struggle with it, how to deal with it, but also never lose the faith what you have inside yourself and don't let it change. The world changed really fastly, massively, and sometimes really ruthlessly. But yeah, you never should change yourself. Really common message that I believe a lot of people hold. But at the same time, we probably deliver that message in each and every song. Yeah.
And I noticed during your guys' shows, I just saw you guys in LA just recently, and you also share that message in between songs. You bring up what's going on in the world and try to keep everybody positive. I really love that about you guys.
Really? Thank you very much. I appreciate that you enjoy it. You guys get it. Thank you very much. It's all about, I really am not like, whenever I reach to the audience, sometimes I try to not do that too much because it's all about the music. It should all come out from the music, but it's really a great moment for us to reach out to the people and talk to them. Just a little bit help for the music and our band ourselves, but I appreciate that you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the positivity that you guys bring that I think we all enjoy as fans when we watch you guys play. I first saw you guys live in Chicago when you did the Wolves on Parade tour, and I was completely blown away by your guys' production, how you guys did everything. So I really like how you have that into your shows. I think it adds it. And I love that you play the video. I know you always ask us if we enjoy the video stuff. Of course we do. Keep doing it.
Yeah, we keep on doing it. It's hard for us to perform 1 hour, 2 hour in the row. Obviously, we have all the furs on, so it's really hot for us on stage. So we have to take a short break, probably sometimes show those videos, and sometimes me and the other guitar player plays one acoustic song. It's all in the set, but obviously it's for a short break for the band, you know.
How do you guys keep cool during the shows?
We have a huge circulator on the stage and it's blowing a lot of wind out there. And sometimes we forget it and it's like hell on the stage. But besides that, while we are in the backstage, full of ice and full of really cold water.
Your most recent collab, Malay, which is one of my favorite songs, actually, super catchy. I love it so much. It's such a great collab. I was curious though, what other artists would you guys look forward to collaborating with or want to strive to collaborate with?
We had a collaboration with like Zebrahead, the band in the US. Who else? With Patrick Stamp. We wrote a couple of songs with Fall Out Boy from Patrick Stamp. But like, what kind of collaboration we want to do? There's tons of talented people all over the world, and it's always a pleasure to have this stimulation and the challenge with working with other people. Yeah, anybody can. It's always a lot of fun. But sometimes a lot of people ask me questions that who are your heroes and do you want to collaborate with those guys? But as long as I watch and read the interviews with all the hero artists that I've been listening to. They're definitely difficult people. So I'd say I'd just stick on as a fan, not trying to work with them.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. I totally get that. It's just so you're just doing your thing, and if now you've traveled almost everywhere, and you mentioned in your interview at Rock Sound that the UK you enjoy the reaction of that audience a lot, and so I was curious, what is about that reaction in the UK that really resonates with you all? What is it about it that makes it special?
Actually, the people who love music all over the world, they have the same kind of reaction. They're always enthusiastic. They really dig into the music. They stick to the music very well. But I kind of sense like people in the UK, it's probably because of the history of their music or the history of they have, especially in rock music, the Beatles, the Oasis, the history that they have. They already have, in a good way, they have a pride. They're really proud of what they've delivered to the world, all the bands that delivered. And they listen to the music in a different channel pretty seriously. Of course, enjoying the entertainment and all the looks of this band, but like above all that, they have good vibe in rock music, and it's really challenging to confront that kind of audience. And I really feel that atmosphere that they have, and they're really, yeah, they really stick to the music probably a bit more than the other audiences all over the world.
When I first heard you guys, I'm a huge 90s fans like you guys are.
Yeah, yeah.
I first heard a couple of your songs. You had a huge, to me, sounded like a huge Rage Against the Machine influence.
Okay,
With
definitely.
I was like, holy crap, he sounds almost exactly like him on certain songs. And then when I discovered you, this was about 3 years ago on our channel, a lot of people tell us to react to songs. And so I fell in love with you guys because of that. And then when I was looking it up, I saw that you did a collab with Yoyoka on Rage Against the Machine. And it was amazing. Those two covers were phenomenal. I was wondering, how was it working with a drummer prodigy like that?
It was a pleasure. The thing was, we were probably like on our own podcast that we were doing with Man with a Mission, and some of the staffs were asking me that, is there any kind of musicians that you find interesting now these days? And I was just talking about that girl. Now, she was like so good at playing the drums. She was actually covering Rage Against the Machine and all the bands from the 90s, yeah, probably. And the energy, but the groove and like how she just delivers that energy from the drums. It was phenomenal. And yeah, I just mentioned it on our podcast, but she reacted to that and said it would be a pleasure to collaborate with you. Do you know any Rage Against the Machine songs? And I was like, yeah, I could sing almost each and every song without seeing the lyrics and stuff like that. And it just happened. And yeah, it was really great. We still keep in touch a lot. She's really doing a great job in the States right now. And yeah, I'm really sure that she has open and full, respectful future in music. Yeah.
That is awesome. That's awesome to hear. I didn't realize that's how big of a Rage Against the Machine fan you are.
Yeah, how I rap. I was never a hip hop fan before I like listened to Rage Against the Machine. The first time I saw Rage Against the Machine, the catch copy for that band was like the mixture of like hard rock and rap and stuff like that. And at first I was like, no, that's never gonna work. But when I saw them on live, immediately I was like, what the fuck is going on? God damn it. What is this band? Ever since, even now these days, even now, that band is a sacred one for me.
Yeah, because you listen to it. It's still refreshing to this day to listen to them.
That is, yeah, it's true.
It just ages really well. So I'm a huge fan of Babymetal. I saw that you guys met Babymetal back in 2017, I believe. Guys took a
Yeah, maybe, yeah. When they were becoming huge. After that, they probably went to Wembley or something like that. We were like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, they blew up. Yeah, they blew up for sure. They've been killing it as of lately. But I'm curious, what are your overall thoughts of that band? And would there be a collab maybe in the future with them?
That would be wonderful. I love all the products that they've been making. And the how they blew up was really, you know, we could sense it. The whole concept and like heavy metal, probably one of the most decent genres that have one of the most dedicated fan base, heavy metal, that scene, and how they show the new essence, that young Japanese kids dancing to it, having such an awesome background music with it, and it was the energy that they can deliver in front of the crowd. It was really awesome, phenomenal at the same time, and yeah, we could see it back in those days that, oh, they're going to be huge. Yeah. And they obviously did. And right now, are they touring right now in the UK or somewhere?
Yeah, they've been touring like crazy since
Crazy,
the
right?
lockdowns have stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see them that much in Japan anymore. They've been traveling all over the world, just kicking out of each and every country. Yeah, if they had time, yeah, it would be a lovable thing to do, collaborate with them.
Yeah. Now you talk. I want to talk about some of your gear here a little bit.
Uh,
We do a lot of guitar gear talk on here also, and you used a Fractal back in 2021, which is a good amp modeler system. Still use the same gear that you used back then, or
Yeah, Fractal, we always update the sounds a bit, but the gear itself is the same. Sometimes the amplifier that we use as a monitor, it's different sometimes, but the basic foot switch and all the things that, all the effects that are on, basically the same.
okay. And I noticed you mentioned in a couple of your interviews that you're all about the feel of the music when you're playing. You're not trying to be complicated, you just want to feel it flow through the music. And a lot of the argument comes with amp modelers. They always say it sucks to feel out of it. But what are your thoughts on it? Do you feel like it does that, or is it pretty much the same for you?
I do agree as an artist, as a musician, that like a formatted, like digital kind of sounds, it probably sometimes kills the emotion. But I don't know. Like sometimes I really love to stick in the old-fashioned way of playing the guitar and stuff like that. But at the same time, music itself evolves really quickly, and sometimes there's a very open mind, like a new way of like feeling the music that like the digital sound might be a lot more powerful and like emotional in this era. It has a different kind of dimension of like enjoying music. And I guess it's all about balancing it. I am a really huge fan of like natural like amplifiers and guitar gears and stuff like that. But at the same time, like all the new elements popping out all over the world, it's really revolutionary and really enjoyable to hear. And I guess as being a musician living in the era, like balancing it, try to find out what we can discover a new way, new sounds and stuff like that's probably the most important thing to do. Just like Tom Mahler, he invented the way to use that guitar and do like new kinds of elements by using a lot of spoons and stuff like that. A lot of people at those days, yeah, was saying that's not the way to play the guitar and shit like that. But he really opened the way of describing not only by the gear, but like the play style and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, even the way he did the play style was impressive enough. But then he brought the Digitech whammy pedal to life. Like it
That's
became
right.
such a
Yeah.
staple of the 90s up until
Uh-huh.
using it. A lot of other artists started using it, and it was just
That's
like
right.
a continued staple. Do you so what amp is ideal for you when you're trying to be creative or you're trying to write a song? What amp just when you get on a certain guitar, you just feel, I can just write stuff or
Uh-huh.
whatnot. What is your idea setup when you're trying to create some music?
It's whenever I create music, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's inside my room, all doing it by the computer and stuff like that. But talking about like amp simulators and stuff like that, I always use Angle, maybe Bogner kind of stuff, and also the Silver Jubilee from Marshall, stuff like that. Yeah. What else? Yeah, but it's all about simulation. But at the same time, when we go to the real recording, I use a lot of Marshall kind of amps, Bogner, even Diesel sometimes. Yeah.
You switch it up, pretty much.
Switch it up a lot.
Now, Man with a Mission doesn't allow phones or cameras at the shows. How do you feel, in your opinion, about having phones and cameras at shows?
Yeah, recently that conversation, that discussion is getting really hot, even in Japan right now. Yeah, I really don't mind. If they're told not to take it, you shouldn't take it because it's the rule. But I really don't mind people like taking and shooting photos during the show. But at the same time, I'm really, pretty worried. That doesn't do anything. When you get rid of the phone and just watch and just hear it by yourself, that gets a lot more information and motion that you can have than taking a photo and post it on Instagram or shit like that. It's a waste of your time, really. A lot of people try to explain to themselves that this is just like taking it from memory and stuff like that. But if that's how you store your memory, you're probably missing a lot. I really don't mind people doing that, but you're missing a lot. That 1 second or 2 seconds, do that, but get rid of it and just watch the show. It probably gets you more information and emotion that you can ever imagine. And yeah, people just sticking to trying to post something on SNS and stuff like that. Just take 5 minutes, get rid of that, and just watch the show so you can get a lot more.
I always ask people this. I'm like, how often do you actually go back and check all those videos you recorded?
And they say none, right?
Yeah, exactly. Though, what's your favorite food in America to eat?
Favorite fruit in America?
Food.
Ah,
Food.
food. I'm sorry.
I guess you could tell us your fruit too. Maybe.
No, that question was silly because there is no kind of favorite fruit in America.
Yeah, right.
Okay, the favorite food. Whenever I go to the US, it's always about looking for some decent steakhouses. Yeah. It's always just going to each and every city and asking people if you want to go to a bit fancy kind of steakhouse, where would you go? And I always ask people like that because I'm definitely sure that you people really know how to cook your meat and deal with it. It's probably yeah, you guys are the best in doing that, really. Talking about the meat itself, there's a lot of recommendations all over the world, but how you cook it and how you deal with it, yeah. You guys have your own barbecue sets, each and every family. The dads always have his own coal tar set or shit like that. So you guys really know how to deal
Your favorite
cooking meat.
steakhouse.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so your favorite steakhouse. I always stick to that one.
But do you have?
My favorite steakhouse.
Yeah, what's your favorite
Oh,
steakhouse?
man, that's pretty hard. Like talking about like local kinds of Outback, there's a lot. But now whenever I go to New York, yeah, I try to be a little bit fancy and go to a really fancy kind of place and just look at the dish and yeah. Oh man, this is $100. That's crazy, but yeah, it's always good.
You had mentioned in other podcasts that some of the fast songs are some of the hardest ones for you to do. What is it about it that makes it hard?
Eagles Fall, yeah, like the fast ones. Yeah. How do That's a song that I really have to focus on rapping really fastly. And it's been 15 years doing this band, but like my mouth is not moving as fast as 15 years ago. So yeah, I just have to keep on warming up. Yeah, the fast songs sometimes. It's really like doing a band for a long time. It's always about not just physically, but also emotionally, keeping up the rage and the anger, or maybe the energy that we had when we wrote the song. Yeah, just keeping it up. It's really, we always have to be aware of that. It shouldn't be like phony. The rage has to be pure as the moment we wrote the song. So it's always about not physically, but keeping up emotion. Yeah.
Do you ever find when you try to get back to that emotion, is it easy for you to get back into that mode when you go sing those songs? If it rather it's sad, anger, happy?
It's always about whenever I hit the stage, I'm not really myself in the everyday, each and every day. It's always about just snapping some switch inside myself, maybe going back to that moment and stuff like that. Not really pushing myself, just hitting that switch, just yeah, clicking that switch and just being I am myself, but at the same time, like totally a different guy when I'm on stage. And I guess like keeping that switch really fired up and really making it smooth, like when you oil a chain on the bicycle or stuff like that. Keeping that switch smooth is probably the most important thing to do.
Let the fans know what you guys got coming up next, what's going on. We know you're getting back out on the road very soon on August 31st in the UK. So
Yes.
on this world tour that you guys are doing, you guys have been hitting it hard. But what else should the fans know or keep a lookout for?
Yes, as you mentioned, we're going to take a 10-day tour in Europe. After that, we're able to take part in some festivals that are going on in Asia, Korea and China and Taiwan, maybe. Yeah, we're heading to Asia a little bit. But after that, we can't promise you guys like the production kind of stuff, working on songs or stuff like that. But it's been quite a while since we last released our last album. So hopefully, yeah. We can come up with some new items. And just like I said, it's always about pushing yourself and just making that switch go on. And I'm ready to do that and anytime. So hopefully we can give you guys some new items.
Looking forward to it. Johnny, I really appreciate you doing this interview with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Join our Discord server. We always post over there when we're about to do some of these interviews. So you guys have the opportunity to ask questions that you would like to have answered. That link will be pinned down below. Check out one of our very first Man with a Mission reactions right here. See you in the next one. See you.